Thanks very much. And so today we're glad to have Gary with us, and we'll turn the time over to you, Gary, to enlighten us.
Okay, well, it's great to meet everyone. And my name is Gary Marcoccia. And today I'm going to talk about affiliate programs. So it's kind of a world I've been in for over 2 decades now. I started actually in the year 2000. Well, officially, I guess in 1999, because that's when we registered our domain name. But we started just because we wanted to create content, back then. And this was before social media, so we just started essentially creating content around ski lifestyle in Utah. And that website, over the years, kind of evolved into a corporation here in Utah. And at this point, we are now just managing clients for the affiliate marketing space, as well as some influencer campaigns. So it was interesting. I started the company as an affiliate marketer. I kind of got introduced to affiliate marketing because I was figuring out a way to make money with the website back in the early 2000s, and then started working with backcountry.com as an affiliate, and then actually went away from doing the affiliate work and started a couple companies in the affiliate marketing world, and then came back to the flagship website Gravity Fed in 2019. So yeah, what I'd like to do today is just talk about how you would go about setting up a program, and how you would also go about measuring the effectiveness of it, and just kind of some best practices for managing it, because it's not really the type of thing you just set up and let work on its own. You really got to kind of be on it. There's a lot of relationships. It's very heavy that way. And I guess a lot of people are familiar with affiliate marketing. It's essentially referral-based marketing, where we're tracking an action online. The world I'm in is sale actions, but there's also the ability to track leads and pretty much any other type of action online that you want. And you can set up terms around all of those actions to pay out considerations, whether that's commissions or free product or what have you. So hopefully that's a pretty good introduction. And I'm going to assume most of you anyway have a pretty good base level understanding of what I mean here. I have a deck. I can put that on now. And let me know if we can all see that good. And I don't know, I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm going to kind of not get into too much of the weeds here. I have included quite a bit in these 3 slides, and we will have some question and answer afterwards. So, I'm happy to answer kind of more detailed questions. But essentially what I'm going to do is just talk about how to get started, how to set it up, kind of the components for that. How to actually measure it, and the key metrics that we're looking at, as well as the indicators for whether or not there's a successful program that you have in place. And I'll add to that, it's not kind of like I said, a quick flip of a switch and all of a sudden you have all kinds of activity and sales and referrals coming in. There's really a process of launching this thing and working at it to establish the partnerships and build it up. So I love that idea that you can constantly build onto what you've already created. So it really compounds over time and becomes super effective, but it is a process, right? So finally, we'll just talk about some of the best practices for program management. I've kind of blabbed enough. There's my intro in a nutshell. There's some links in here. I'd love to connect with everyone on LinkedIn after. In terms of getting started, I'm in the retail world of affiliate marketing. So I build programs that accommodate, the backcountry.coms of the world, or the direct-to-consumer brands, at a very large scale, like Patagonia, for example. You can pretty much get referral tracking in many different places, but it's ideal to work with some of these affiliate networks that are, kind of well-known and established and have a lot of people signed up to, because there's 2 sides of the affiliate network or the platform. There's the brand or the retailer or whatever type of company is going to want to track an action. That's kind of the side of the network they call advertisers. It's almost counterintuitive, but the advertisers are the actual stores. On the other side of the network, it's the affiliates, or what they call publishers. And those can be any type of publisher. There's shopping publishers, there's bloggers, there's editorial, there's social influencers. I mean, you name it, brand ambassadors. 10 years ago, publishers or affiliates were just kind of, deal-oriented sites that still, is a big part of affiliate marketing. But nowadays, it's really, really evolved to include many different partnership types. And there's also a lot of different technology now that can track referrals from really anywhere, online or off. So the networks are key. You got to get signed up into one of these networks where your brand can be presented to kind of a cloud or a marketplace of opportunities out there. Otherwise, you're, kind of there standing in your own, and you got to go out there and find partnerships one-to-one. It's all a kind of a harder process to bring them to you. When you get signed up in an affiliate network, you're going to want to have some collateral, mainly a lot of different promotional offers, any really type of promotional offer that you can inject into the network. That could be, as a retailer, free shipping. You could have free gift with purchase. You could have, standard coupon discount. Getting as creative as you can get in terms of getting offers in the network is key. And then, of course, branded assets like banners. It's an ideal opportunity to kind of get a lot of brand presence for free, because you don't, in the affiliate networks, you don't pay for the brand impressions or the actual clicks. You're only paying for when that conversion takes place, like when the sale occurs or when the action occurs. There's a technical integration with these affiliate networks. That's actually gotten quite a bit easy over time with companies like Shopify or WooCommerce, the larger e-commerce providers. But essentially what you're doing is integrating a process so that the referral can be tracked back to the actual click-through, or back to an actual code. In the case of a retailer or a direct-to-consumer brand that's selling products online, you can also integrate a product feed so that the actual marketers, the comparison sites, and the people that are doing the marketing on your behalf, they're able to market at the product level as well as, the brand or the store level. Quickly on fees to sign up on an affiliate network, you generally have to consider the commissions that you're going to pay out on the margin. So the blogger, for example, might get a 10% commission for referring a customer and a sale your way. There's also a network fee. So the platform that facilitates all of this, they charge based on the transaction. And that's usually about 20% of what that affiliate will earn, or that publisher will earn. So, for example, if it's a $100 sale and you're paying out a 10% commission to the blogger, 20% of that 10% commission, which would be $10, is $2 to the network. So all said and done, you're parting with about 12 points on a $100 sale. You should also consider that, like I mentioned earlier, a dedicated program manager is really strongly recommended for having an affiliate program in place. You kind of invest in getting this going and doing it right. And it just doesn't make sense to kind of let it just be on autopilot. You really owe it to your investment to have someone in place. That can either be in-house or outsourced, but make sure they have some experience. And I'll hit on that in a second. Am I going too slow here? We got a few more minutes. I can get through this stuff pretty quickly. But the return on ad spend, I'm going to look real quickly at just metrics for this program. And again, this is from the retail perspective. What do we got? Okay. There's an array of different metrics that we kind of key in on. Essentially, the affiliate network or the platform is going to have all kinds of data coming in on every transaction, and you have access as the brand to all of that data, either in a manual way or through API access. But here's what we generally will key in on: the click-through, the sales, whether that's new customer returning. The conversion rate is the percentage of people that buy to a number of people that are actually on the website. So 100 people click through, 2 sales occur. That's a 2% conversion rate. And we usually measure that for a period of time, like a month or a year. Commissions, of course, network fees. Then you've got the costs associated with acquiring each new customer, as well as that return on ad spend. So I've highlighted both the ROAS, the return on ad spend, and the new to file up above. And that's because that's kind of the golden KPIs, like the metrics we really watch on behalf of our clients. If you're hitting a benchmark of 4-to-1 or higher, then you're looking at holistically the whole program, and you're getting a $4 return for every dollar spent. It's of course better to exceed that 4-to-1. It's usually totally doable. It just takes working at it and really being engaged with the program. And then the new to file, of course, is your new customers. So in the affiliate marketing world, you could have 100 sales in a month. If 50% of those are new to your database, then we consider that, ideal. If you have 60, 70, 80%, you're kind of laughing, but generally speaking, those two metrics are key for, keeping the program kind of above water and viable. Okay, let's go to the next. Whoops. All right, program management. I talked on that a little bit earlier. And again, what I did is I just took a bullet list from our proposals that we send out to our clients, but it really is kind of someone who's the face of the program. Like really, you're handling all the inquiries coming in, you're recruiting people, you're onboarding, you're activating, you're getting them special offers, you're managing the promotions. It's really a day-to-day type of thing. That really, really, really makes a difference. I can't stress that enough. So I kind of hit on it there below. There's there's a lot of reasons. It's a very standardized environment, and that kind of experience, it really does make sense to invest in someone who knows what they're doing there. So there's my last slide. It's kind of a whirlwind presentation, I guess. There's a lot there. I could get in the weeds so easy in any one of those topics. I'm happy to kind of follow up with anyone on this stuff, but really, if you're looking to build a brand or kind of just increase your sales force in a way that's very cost effective when done right, then it's a good place to be. So yeah, thank you. Is that good? Are we at the end of this?
This is good. Yeah, I think we'll let the Q&A fill in the rest of the time. So thanks, Gary. Selfishly, I have a kind of the first question of what stage of the company and when is someone ready to engage you?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I will say there's, affiliate marketing in general is a really good way to help build a company up, but it does become a challenge because there's some costs associated with that, right? So when you think about the investment, I would have a baseline probably 2%, or I'm sorry, 2% conversion rate minimum on the traffic you have existing. There's nothing that is wrong with like the day after you launch your Shopify store, launching an affiliate program. But if it's a totally brand new business with a new brand, it kind of takes a little bit of effort to build some trust and to get people to sign up, because they are sending you traffic and they want to be sure that traffic will convert. They have other options on where to send that traffic so that they can make the revenue. So it's a little bit harder for a brand new business from scratch to kind of come out of the gate and build it up. But again, the sooner you kind of get it going, the better. I would say for an established company that's been around for a while, whether or not they've been going direct to consumer, it's going to be a different deal. Like, I've talked to an outdoor company recently that's been in business 40 years, and they've got an incredibly like loyal customer base. If I mentioned the business right now, everyone would know it, but they're just now going direct to consumer. And so the projections on that program are really, really solid and aggressive because, they're known. So hopefully that answers your question. At a baseline, try to get your business up and running, have everything kind of all your ducks in a row to convert, whether it's a sale or an action. Like, for example, if you have a form that you're going to pay out, Geico pays out like $6 to have someone, complete a quote for insurance. And so if you have all your ducks in a row and you're ready to convert all that traffic that's coming to your site at a 2 to 3% level, then I think that's kind of a good benchmark.
Interesting. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
So
if you've got questions, you can throw them in the chat, or you can just come off mute and ask Gary.
Hey Gary, I just had a quick question. Thanks for presenting too. I'm new to thinking about affiliate marketing. I'm not experienced in this in any way, but I was curious if there's a difference in different markets. So for example, I'm working on a product that's like selling to school districts, so K through 12. Just curious if you've seen it works better in B2B or B2C or specific industries, or is it, I don't know, just your thoughts around that would be helpful.
yeah, I mean, I honestly don't have a whole lot of experience doing B2B type of referral programs, but they certainly are out there. I can speak very confidently to the effectiveness on the consumer side, working with the retailers or the brands that are selling to the consumers directly. But really what the fundamentals include are having, a public facing website that is able to take that traffic and convert it one way or another. And then really, again, you can really pay for any action. So even if that's like a wholesale type of transaction or a B2B type of transaction or subscription or you name it. Hopefully that answers your question. There's ways to track referrals online from any real source and for any real action. So again, it's a matter of whether or not it's feasible to invest and kind of set that all up. You can kind of take the cheaper approach to it, honestly, with some standalone software or some of the lower tier networks. But again, I kind of advocate for really, if you're going to do it, let's do it right type of thing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Question came in through the chat. You covered a little bit of this, but chat asked, are there industries or products that you think are bad for affiliate marketing?
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily bad, but I mean, and in fact, it's a huge part of affiliate marketing. I don't know. I don't think there's obviously a lot of product type of considerations, right? Like I know, for example, CBD, right? They run into all kinds of trouble marketing their products across platforms like Google, et cetera. And so they've kind of flooded the affiliate networks with advertising or advertiser type of affiliate programs, right? And I haven't seen very many of them that seem to I don't know, it just seems to be too saturated. I don't know how to answer that question. I don't think there's a bad you stumped me.
Well,
I guess no. I mean, unless you're talking about anything illegal or,
I'll come off mute just a second to maybe do a follow-up if that's okay, Spencer. What I was thinking about in asking that question was sometimes you get a clearer understanding of the positive if you kind of exclude the negative space around it, like things where it's like, okay, you're right in the strike zone of where these things are working the best, and it can be helpful to know if you're in an area where it's like, yeah, it doesn't work so great over here. So that's really what I was asking. It's okay if there's no more to add to the answer, but that's the intent was not like
no, that's fine.
Try to really nail it, but just to see if there's things that maybe you would take off the table as ideal.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification there. I mean, again, probably any type of questionable product groups or, obviously anything that's, I know that for example, wine companies have trouble because there's certain states and so on, they can't sell to. When I think about kind of the negatives, I'll just hit on this quickly. As long as you have a legitimate product or a legitimate action that you want to track online, I think it's okay to kind of consider building a referral program, like an affiliate program. On the other side of the equation, there's some real bad experiences that the brands kind of go through because they'll set up an affiliate program and kind of just let it go on autopilot, like I mentioned earlier, and they'll kind of get taken advantage of. They'll set their programs on auto approve, and the affiliate networks do a pretty good job of vetting, but there's a lot of bargain oriented sites and different types of publishers that might not be so suitable for the brand. And next thing you know, they're having all these transactions come through and they have these invoices coming. And when they start to dig into the metrics, it's like, 80 of all 100 sales are existing customers. So, and there's all kinds of, so it's just kind of pivoted a little bit there because there's two sides of it. But to answer your question specifically, again, like if there's really a product or service that you have and you want to actually build referral sources for it, then don't. And I'm happy to talk to you about this in more detail, obviously offline. But
yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Another question came in, and I'll kind of maybe pile onto this one. So from Deb Gray, how do you see the affiliate marketing landscape evolving over the next few years? And are there any emerging trends to be aware of? And maybe I'll just pile onto that. How do you view, influencers and maybe NIL? How does that play into, or if it does at all, into what you've presented?
Yeah, in terms of like the landscape, excuse me, it's really never stopped evolving in the last 20 plus years, 25 years, I guess, since really it started to hit mainstream. Really what has created a lot of different driving innovation and change is the whole emergence of influencers and the creators, right? I mean, it was 10 years ago, it was shopping oriented type of publishers or comparison websites, or maybe some editorials that created reviews. But now, like I kind of hit on this earlier, there's so many different partnership types that can be accommodated. For an example, we worked with a ski company and they set up a program where they could offer custom coupon codes to their different brand ambassadors, or in this case, ski instructors. And then those codes, when used in the cart, were the tracking mechanism for referring the source. And so they were out there, these ski instructors, giving away codes to their clients. The clients would bring the code to the e-commerce site, make a sale, get their 20% off or whatever. And then the actual ski instructor would get a commission on $1,000 ski. So it was like, oh, that's not even an online partnership there. That's on the ski lift, like chatting it up or whatever. So in terms of where it's going, it's just right now, what we're seeing is just that ever expanding like umbrella over all of partnerships. And there's a couple companies in particular out there, these networks and platforms, that are kind of hitting it out of the park in terms of bringing all these different partnership types together. 10 years ago, once again, it was just people that were driving conversions from deals and comparisons, and there was click-throughs, and that's what tracked it. Nowadays, it's everything from brand ambassadors to creators to commerce editors. Really any type of personality can be a part of this, right? So hopefully that answers that one.
A couple more questions that came in. One from Darla. Where do you search for referral sources? Do you have favorite networks to find bloggers or personalities, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, we're kind of open to working with any network. We manage on several different networks for our clients. All of them are very similar. And really, when you talk top tier, any type of category, whether it's, loyalty or coupon deal or bloggers or creators, like most of the top tier folks are going to be in these top networks. In terms of my preferences, I actually was a co-founder of a company here in Utah called Avant Link in Park City. And that's an affiliate network. And, I was there until 2015, and I do a lot of work on the brand side there now. I'm not involved with the company anymore, but I do kind of advocate for that network if you are a kind of outdoor lifestyle or, kind of just adventure travel type of brand. We actually started that company when we came out of backcountry.com. So a lot of the outdoor stores kind of built the foundation of that network. And then in terms of like more enterprise level, we work a lot with impact.com, which is essentially it's a partnership marketing cloud. It's an affiliate network plus. They've got all these other tools and opportunities that kind of make it really important for us in terms of how we approach this stuff, which is affiliate marketing plus. It's really all the partnerships. So Impact has a lot of good tech in that regard.
Awesome. Okay, last question from Joel. Is there a dollar amount that makes sense? More specifically, how well do lower priced CPG products do with affiliate marketing?
Great question. I mean, price has always driven conversion online, and affiliate marketing evolved in that context. So without a doubt, if you're able to discount, and I don't mean maybe constantly, but if you're able to do maybe promotional offers a few times a month that you can put into the affiliate networks, or offer some coupon codes, or, you will see you'll kind of see the needle move more if you're willing to discount. That doesn't mean it won't be effective if you don't. It just means it takes a little bit longer to kind of see that process through. I've worked with some very sensitive brands around discounting. Their whole emphasis is to create awareness. So they'll give out product samples in exchange for reels or posts or reviews. And after about 18 months, it is just, the golden ticket, because you have all this content out there that's indexed in Google and so on. But for a while there, you're not getting much out of that, because again, like really just being aggressive with discounting and working with some of these, publishers that can really give cash back and things like that will really move the needle. So in a nutshell, the higher you can go with your margin on discounting and commissions, the more you can drive huge volume through affiliate programs. Not to say you can't otherwise, it just takes longer, and there's kind of more of a process there at play. I'll use a quick example just to top that off. When I talk about enterprise level publishers, like shopping publishers that can really drive volume, I'm talking about people like Bing Rebates from Microsoft, or Honey Science Corporation, or Rakuten, or Ebates, or any number of large shopping communities, right? So hopefully that helps there.
This is great. I learned a ton. Thanks, Gary, for being with us today and sharing your knowledge with the group. Thanks everyone for coming. This recording and some resources will be shared out later.
Yeah,
we'll see you all next Tuesday.
I really appreciate it. Like I said, there's there's so much here to unpack. So I'm available if you have any direct questions. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Bye.